Are you guys excited? I think today is the last, one of the last sessions we have. Did you guys like your summer camp? Did you enjoy it?
Mother, Mihika, I have a question. When summer okay, when summer camp finishes, is it back to Bhagavad Gita class?
I'm not sure about that.
My
We
mom
don't have information.
my mom told me that the summer camp is finished, then Bhagavad Gita class back to class.
We don't have Bhagavad Gita classes.
Well, why not? But
Well, I don't know the plan. You can wait till summer camp ends, and then you'll get information in the group.
Okay.
Mataji, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Okay, so we'll start with the moral stories. So our topic again today, we're just going to go through one of the stories that Prabhupada has given us, like really lovingly, and they're very exciting. So let's go for it. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do you guys want to unmute and chant the Maha Mantra once? What can unmute and chant?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much. And now, since we have Prabhupada's blessings, we have Guru's blessings, and we have Krishna and the Panchatattva's blessings, we'll start. So our first story for today is the boy who would not give up sweets. So how many of you like sweets? You?
Me, I do love sweets, but I don't eat too much.
I love sweets and I eat too much.
So
I love sweets and I eat everything.
I love sweets and I eat too much even though I have cavities.
What are your favorite sweets?
Kaju Katli.
Kaju Katli. We made Kaju Katli.
Lollipops. Lollipops.
Lollipop, chocolate,
Cream. I love ice cream.
and ice cream.
I
love every sweet. I love every sweet actually.
My favorite sweet is
I
gulab
love ice cream. It's my favorite.
And chocolate and
All
candy.
the sweets I have.
I love fruit
and
roll-ups.
gulab jamun, the jalebi are so
And gulab jamun and jalebis. I love
My
those.
favorite sweet is gulab jamun and cookies.
So now we'll listen to a story about a boy who was supposed to give up sweets, but he loved them so much that he would not give them up. So what happens is that a woman brings her child to see a saintly person. And you know, the general context is that when a saintly person tells you to do something, then you generally have more inspiration to do it, you get the strength to do it. And it's kind of also that you want to do it to make them happy. Just like sometimes it may be difficult for us to do some of our spiritual duties. But then if, say for example, some devotee tells us, or we know that Prabhupada wants us to do them, or our Guru Maharaj wants us to do them, then we do those, right? Say for example, you know what, you have to study and you don't really like to study, but all the devotees in your Guru Maharaj, they tell you, oh, you have to study. So in that case, you would want to listen to them, and you would also get the potency to do that, right? So this is what happens. So this woman, she brings her child to see a saintly person, and she says, the doctor has told me that my child is diabetic. That means he has high sugar and he must stop eating sweets. But in spite of what I tell him, he won't stop. So since you're a saintly person, I'm sure that if you tell him to stop eating sugar and sweets, he will listen and his life can be saved. So what happens is that when they eat too much sugar, too many sweets, and especially because this boy, he has a problem that he's diabetic, right? That can be really dangerous for his health. But still, he loves sweets so much that he won't give them up. This woman, she brings him to the saintly person. And so, guess what happens? The saintly person says, I can't tell that to the child today. Can you bring him again tomorrow? The woman is very confused and she's very disappointed. She's like, oh, what do you mean you can't tell him today? Why do you have to tell him tomorrow, right? So then what happens next? The next day again, she brings her child, a small boy, to the saintly person. And the saintly person looks at the boy very strictly, very sternly. And he says, you have to stop eating sweets. And what happens? Because the saintly person is so powerful, the moment he looks at the boy very strongly and he says, you have to stop eating sweets, the boy, he becomes very startled and he accepts it, like, okay, no more sweets. And he never eats sweets ever again and sugar, right? So then what happens is, this woman, she asks the saintly person that, oh, Swamiji, you know, why didn't you just tell this to my child yesterday? Why did you have us come to you again? So he says that till yesterday when you came to me, I was also eating sugar and sweets. But then I stopped, and now I can, you know, tell your child to stop eating sweets, because we can't really tell someone to do something that we're not doing. And so Srila Prabhupada says that example is better than precept. That means that when you show someone how to do something, it's better than telling them to do it just like that. And that a leader cannot tell the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. He should practice himself first and then he becomes Acharya. So what do our teachers do, and what do all of the devotees who guide us do? They first follow what they are telling you to do, and then they will tell you to do that, right? Because they lead by example. And say for example, there's someone who says you shouldn't eat sweets, you shouldn't smoke, but then you see them doing the exact same things that they're telling you not to do, then you probably will not be that inclined to listen to them, right? But then when someone is actually following what they are telling you to do, what they're preaching, and someone practices what they preach, then you are likely to listen to them. Just like we see that Srila Prabhupada, he himself used to chant so much. So he inspired everyone to chant. He himself used to like to dance and, you know, to sing kirtan. And he himself was such an amazing example of what he preached. And so look at his preaching. It's so like worldwide. It's so wide at this point. So that's how. How did we learn anything? We know that because Prabhupada first taught it. And Prabhupada taught it in such a way that it was so strong because he himself practiced what he preached. I think we all agree with that. So this brings our story to an end, and we can take your reflections now. Does anyone want to share anything? Satya, you can unmute.
So Mataji, isn't there like already a cure for it at that time? Because snakes existed for thousands of years and snakes' venom are used for medicines, especially for people with diabetes.
Is that so? I'm not aware that snake venom is used for diabetes.
He saw in fact that there is actually
So, you have a problem with your headset? No, you're okay. So I'm not really sure, but the story is actually meant to teach us that whenever we're telling someone to do something, we should be practicing it, it ourselves first. In that sense, it could be anything. And also, even if you don't have diabetes, if you eat too many sweets, and your teeth are gonna get bad, and so on, that can be really dangerous. Thank you, Satyat.
Can I have a question?
And yeah, you can tell me.
Does a boy usually eat sweets all the time or not?
Yeah, it looks like he would, and he was specifically told not to, because
So
when
why? So will he stop eating sweets forever?
yeah, he stopped eating sweets forever because he was so, he was so touched by what the
I
saints.
think it's not to be too greedy.
Yeah, you don't have to be too greedy, but also saintly people are so powerful that when they tell you something, then you're able to do it. Just like Prabhupada, when he went to the West and he was preaching that don't eat meat, don't, take intoxication, don't do all of those bad things, then everyone was able to follow it. Everyone gave up eating meat. They gave up, all the other bad things that they were addicted to. So that's the power of a saintly person. That whatever they say, we're able to do that because they give us the power to do. So I hope that helps. And Rehan, you want to say something?
Why did the sage eat sugar too? And why didn't he also tell the woman before he did it? Why didn't he tell it at the first place that he ate sugar?
Oh, he would eat sugar normally. He wouldn't like overeat sugar, but he wanted to practice what he preached. So he wanted to stop eating sugar first and then tell the little boy to stop eating sugar.
Yeah, and I also have another question. Are we gonna have a quiz today or not?
Are we gonna have a quiz today? I have not prepared a quiz. I don't know if Nihika Mataji or Prema Mataji has done so. We're gonna have cooking class today. We're making cheetah dahi.
Okay.
The Panihati festival.
Yeah,
Is there a moral story about the Panihati festival?
that's a pastime. That's like Lord Nityananda. If we have time, then we will also discuss that.
Mataji, are we gonna have like another story?
If we have time after reflections, yeah, we can have another story.
So what?
Yeah, go on.
We're having another story.
We can try to have another story if we have some time after reflections. I think there's just one more hand up. Jan is left, and then we'll see.
what Satya said was true. I googled it. Snakes and a lot of other things are used to cure diabetes. Snake venom. It's used. I googled it.
You googled it, so what does it say? What snake venom is used?
Snake venom is used to cure diabetes.
Oh, maybe it was not available then. Or maybe they lived in a background where they didn't know that. Maybe they didn't have Google.
Well, that actually makes sense because humans are more advanced now than the past time.
But if humans use snake venom, they might die.
Well, they heat it up, and the heating causes germs to actually melt or something, and then they're easily able to be removed, and the rest of the venom that is now it actually doesn't actually do anything to you. It just helps cure diabetes. That's all.
That is helpful information. Thank you so much. But yeah, maybe they didn't have Google, or maybe they didn't know about it before.
Well, I think the answer is obvious that they didn't know about it, but because they obviously don't have phones.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Satya. So do you guys want to hear the Pani Hatti story now, or do you want to hear another moral story? How many of you want to hear the Pani Hatti story?
Mataji, I've already heard the Pani Hatti story.
You've already heard the Pani Hatti story. Is there anyone who's not heard the Pani Hatti story?
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't, Mataji.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Pratyaksh and Pratyusha also probably haven't. Bihan hasn't. Shivang hasn't. Pravasti hasn't.
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay, so we'll listen to the Pani Hatti story then.
Aww.
Or else we can do this, that when I am teaching you how to cook, then at that time I can tell you the Pani Hatti story.
Yay.
Okay, so we'll take another quick moral story and then we'll go to the cooking part. Okay.
Yay.
Is there a quiz?
No, we don't have a quiz today as far as I know. Okay, so our second story is over here. The yogi who could walk on water.
Oh, I know the story. It's where there was this little boy and he learned all this stuff. He left his home when he was only 26.
Don't spoil it.
Okay, I'll tell the story. Thank you, Satya. You can just enjoy it then. Once a young man goes out of the village in search of a guru who would teach him yoga, right? And what happens then is that he goes to a lot of places. So he goes to the forest, and he goes from one forest to another forest to another forest, and the yogis generally live in the forest. So he was approaching all of them, and he was trying to learn yoga. And then finally he found a good yogi and a good yoga teacher, and he learned yoga. And what happens when you learn yoga? You get some special powers. Like, what are those special powers? You can become smaller than the smallest, or bigger than the biggest, or you can just go anywhere from one place to another place. You can just travel in seconds. You'll be there. Any of you, if you ever want to be in Vrindavan, if you have that power, then you can just be there in a moment. But Prabhupada says that just when you think about Vrindavan, you can be in Vrindavan. So you don't have to do yoga. So they have a lot of powers. They can walk on water, walk on fire. They can do anything, right? So he becomes a yogi. He learns a lot, and then he becomes a yogi, and then he returns to his village as a sadhu. And everyone is very impressed, and they're so happy to see this man who's back from learning, and he's from their village. So they all go to him, and then they're like, what did you learn? And he says that I've practiced yoga for all these years by performing austere sadhana. yogis, what all they have to do, they have to live without food, they have to wear like very simple clothing, even if it's very cold, they have to wear just like a simple cloth. um, and so many other austerities. They have to eat just very little. They have to control their senses. They have to live away from their families. So they did so many. He did so many things, and then he returned home, and he has acquired a powerful. He's acquired a power, and what is the power? That he can walk on water. So he tells them that I've acquired a siddhi, I've acquired a power by which I can walk over water. So all of these villagers, they're like, oh really? You spend so much time in the forest learning yoga, doing all of these things, and all you've done is like learn how to walk on water, right? Um, so everyone went away, and but this elderly person, he stays back, and what does he say? He says, uh, what great thing you have achieved by performing austerities for so many years. You have learned something which can very easily be done simply by spending 2 paisa. I can pay 2 paisa to the boatman and cross over the river. What is the need to walk over water? So what does this wise old man tell him? That, oh son, you spent so many years of your life just like that, just to learn to walk on water, but which you can do easily just by paying like a very small amount to the boatman, and he can take you in the boat. So what have you done? So what does Prabhupada say about this? That there are many types of yogis, but he who is devoted to Krishna is the topmost yogi. Who is the best yogi? The one who is devoted to Krishna. A devotee of Krishna is the topmost yogi. And those who are Krishna conscious are not befooled by yogis who claim to be Bhagwan. A Krishna conscious person only wants to serve the foremost yogi, Yogeshwara, which means the master of all mystic power. So, who is Yogeshwara? Yogeshwara is actually Krishna, and he has all these mystic powers. He can become smaller than the smallest, he can become larger than the largest, he can go anywhere at any time, and that's not all he can do. He can do so many other things, right? We see he can fight so many demons, he can draw out love from everyone's heart, he can do everything, right? So this is the power of Krishna. And those people who spend so much time just trying to learn some basic perfections in in yoga, they're just wasting their time. Why? Because after they die, they're probably gonna lose all those powers, and it's not really going to help them to get out of the cycle of birth and death. But what will help? If we become devotees of Krishna, then we will become perfect yogis, as well as we will be Krishna will save us from the cycle of birth and death. Krishna will take us back home, back to Godhead. And over there, we don't need any of this. Over there, every word is a song, every step is a dance. Have you heard about it? Have you heard about how beautiful Krishna's planet is?
Mataji.
Yes,
Yes, Mataji.
you have. So
Yes, Mataji.
that's amazing. You all have heard about how beautiful Krishna's planet is. So who wants to learn all of these perfections now? Does anyone want to learn? Satya, you want to learn? Don't you just want to go back to Krishna where everything is naturally so good?
I do.
Yeah. See, you have a limited amount of time. You have just 24 hours. If you're going to spend your 24 hours trying to learn yoga for so many years and then, not go back to Krishna, what's the use? But instead, if you practice Krishna consciousness 24 hours in a day, then very soon you can go back to Krishna. And what's there where Krishna is? Every song is every word is a song, every step is a dance. Krishna loves everyone. And guess what? Whatever you want, you can get it in a moment, because all the trees over there are actually desire trees.
What?
Yeah. All the
Is that true? Because sometimes I wonder what happens when you actually die. Is it true that you go to heaven or something?
Oh, actually, that depends on what you've done in your life and what you're thinking of at the time of death. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that whatever you're thinking about at the time of death, or whatever you've done throughout your lifetime, that's what you're going to do, become in your next life, because the soul travels. We're all the soul, and our soul will go to the next body. So say for example,
No, like I'm saying, like, is it true that is heaven actually a thing?
yes, heaven is a thing.
But how do we know if you don't have any senses after you die? How and people and how and you don't have any senses. Your brain won't work after you die. How would you know what is happening?
So about that,
People might have, when people die and go to heaven, people might have accidentally escaped from heaven. So that's maybe how we know. People might be escaping from heaven or
No.
hell.
heaven is
No,
like,
I don't think so. I don't think that's possible.
you guys want to know the truth?
Heaven is in the sky. If you just take a rocket ship like a light
We
year
wanna know
or
the
something,
truth.
then no problem again.
Okay, I'm going to tell the truth. Okay. So Satya, how do you know what Mars is like?
Because we have information and send satellites there, but we can't do that with heaven or hell.
Okay, we send information. And we have scientists who tell us all of this. We have books that tell us about this, right? So similarly, we have scriptures. We have evidences in scriptures, in books that our acharyas have given us, that our teachers have given us, which speaks about what it is like in heaven, what it's like in hell, what it's like in Goloka. So heaven and hell are different than Goloka. Goloka is where Krishna is. Heaven is just where we go to enjoy, right?
And I also heard this story where where you can, if somebody meditates very hard, their soul will leave the body and they'll go to God. But they don't. They die, but nothing happens to them. Their body is all fine. They're perfectly healthy. They meditate and then they just go to God.
They can meet Krishna in their meditation. They can also, yeah, there is a thing like that, but that's like really high yogic siddhi. And after the soul goes to Krishna, it does not come back, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, once you come to my abode, once you come to my home, you can never return. You don't come back to this material world, which is like really painful, right? So what happens after the soul leaves the body is based on your karma, or based on whatever you thought about in your last moment. Say for example, you've been serving Krishna all your life, right? And at the end of the moment, you're thinking about Krishna, so you go back to Krishna.
Wait,
Krishna
so it was like that story you told us once, where there was this man who did bad things all over his life, and then at the last moment, he asked his servant to get some mala, and then to chant Hare Krishna, but he didn't have a chance because he already passed away. But anyway, the gods took him back to Godhead.
Yeah, just like that. So that is in a very special case, right? When Krishna has special mercy upon us. So even if the tiniest thing we do, Krishna is so loving that he sees what we're doing for him. So, but it's very important to practice. So if you have to give an exam, right, Satya, what would you do? Would you just study at the last moment and give the exam? No, you would study like earlier, and you would practice, right? And this exam is super important.
But how is that related to the story?
How is that related to the story? I'm answering your question about how do we come back to God, and what happens when the soul leaves the body. So whatever we've done throughout our life, that's how we're going to perform in at the time of death, because death is life's final exam.
Oh, so like if we end up in hell, will we come back to earth as a demon or something?
So if you end up in hell, you will be punished, whatever, So first of all, if you're a devotee of Krishna, then Krishna will save you. You will not go to hell. Okay. But
No, like I'm saying that if you go to hell, will you come back to earth as a demon or something?
no, if you go to hell, if anyone goes to hell, then that person has to go through punishment for whatever he has done. So like I told you, right, we have books which we read. That's how we get information. So there's one of our books is Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam has a detailed descriptions of all the hells that are there. I think there are 20, 30, I think 29 or 30 types of hells, depending on what you've done in this lifetime to be punished.
My dad told me this thing that you can also get punished on earth. He told me that this God called Yarmadamma Raja is always watching us from heaven, and that he's always watching us and he'll punish us for whatever bad thing we do.
That is true. We also get punished on earth. So if I've done something bad in this birth or in the previous birth, I also get punishment when we fall sick, or when something bad happens to us. That's actually because of our past karma.
Mataji, there's
Wait.
also a story of a Mataji in 2020. Her name was Vrindavani something Mataji. I forgot her name. And when she was about to leave her body and she kind of meditated on Krishna, she kind of didn't. She saw Krishna in a form which Krishna and Lord Jagannath combined.
So if it was in 2020, that means she would come into her next life in around 3001 or something.
But she didn't leave her body. She came back. It was like a second chance.
Wait, what? How is that possible? Oh, I think I get it. Like in the story of Ramayana where Hanuman brought the Sanjeevani herb. Something like that.
Yeah, and there's also the story of Ajamal. So actually, it's very, we are very tiny, and it's quite difficult for us to understand these laws of karma, right? Because it's so vast. Now we have so many people on this earth, right? We've got a population of 7 billion, and this is just one planet. And Krishna says that in every planet there are so many living entities, and we're connected to each one of them through some or the other karma. So,
I think I get what he's saying because life on Earth started as cells with one nucleus, then more than one nucleus, and evolved and it got out of sea and turned into plants, and the insects. And then there was this asteroid that hit her. Little insects that survived turned into giant dinosaurs, and then after the dinosaurs got extinct, there were these categories: mammals, birds, fish, and all those stuff. And then from mammals, we evolved from apes, chimpanzees, and there's another one, but I forgot the name. And we evolved from that to here. And in the future, we might have one robot laser eye or something.
Also, I don't think plants evolved. I think plants were already there by the time the organism was.
If humans evolved from monkeys would be extinct today.
that is true. So actually,
Yeah, that is true.
No, that makes no sense because
Because
we
if
evolved
humans
from a
evolved
group
from
of monkeys. Well, not exactly monkeys. We evolved from chimpanzees. So like through time, some turned into like humans and others stayed the same.
Okay. We'll stop this discussion here because Darwin's theory has a lot of faults. It actually does have a lot of faults. If you like really deeply study into it, then it has a lot of faults. So for the basics, our scriptures were written like a lot of time ago, and humans still existed, and the whole creation is described in authoritative sources like Srimad Bhagavatam, which disapproves Darwin's theory. But because we are in the material world, we have to like go along with it. But honestly, tell me something, Satya. If you go into a lab, okay, and you put like a lot of explosive chemicals together, is it going to make a planet Earth? Is it going to
No.
make a universe? No, right? How is it possible that
Yeah.
something explosive makes something new, something like a creation? It's not possible.
Well, that could happen because, like, according to the Big Bang Theory, it's the most popular theory, and half of the hydrogen is used to make the cosmic web, which the Earth is literally on. And should I tell you something fascinating? If we bend it enough, we could create a wormhole, which could be used as a teleporter.
And Charles Darwin
Time
made
travel.
the theory, and the reason why he made that theory was when he was in school, people used to call him monkey. So he said that he'll prove that everyone is a monkey.
Well, not exactly. We went on
life.
a field trip to the Academy of Science, and we saw this we saw a giant remain of this person that was called Lucy in the Academy of Science in California.
Well, time travelers and teleporters are two different things. If you
Well,
could go
not
to a worm,
Well, it is possible because if you bend space and time enough, it'll create a wormhole, which is like
it
a
will create a
teleporter.
wormhole.
What?
It will create a wormhole, but that wormhole will probably just teleport you to another world, and won't actually go back. Time travel.
You can.
You guys, did you know that
You
the
create a
evolution of
homo-
monkeys and humans and stuff like that is not true, right? We all came from a person named Manu.
What do you mean? Of course it's true. There's this thing called Lucy in
We
the
all
Academy
came
of
from A
Science.
person named Manu. We never actually came
We
from monkeys. That's like a
Of course
carny
we
theory.
did.
That's not really a real theory.
Okay,
Now we did.
1 million years.
that's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Can we start our cooking class?
Yeah, we will. Just for a final statement, actually, it is true that the Darwin's theory has actually been defeated by a lot of scientists as well. But then, a lot of times popularity and fame doesn't have, it often lies on dishonesty. Like, for
Wait,
example,
what?
I create some theory, okay? I say a lie and it becomes very popular. Then people will start to take it as truth. That is true. And that is reality of material world. But we don't have to argue about it. What is our business? Our business is to chant and go back home, back to Godhead. And yeah, I guess there are a lot of ways that the Darwin theory has been, defeated. But we don't have to discuss that right now. We can
But
just go on to our cooking class. Yeah, Satya, I know it's like very interesting, and I mean, if we were in person, I would totally have a really nice time discussing it with you and telling you so many reasons why it's wrong.
But can I tell you something? Can I tell you something though? If you go to the CA Academy of Science and go to like the early human area, you'll see this thing called Lucy. It was like this giant remain of a human, and they actually showed what it would look like in real life. It was like a human, but she was standing, and the skull was different. Well, and there's also this thing there's also proof that a human skull and a chimpanzee skull are very similar. So that's actually proof that the theory is true.
Mataji, can I say one
thing? Yeah, Hannah, go on.
So when Charles Darwin, that was his theory, and when he died, he said that he was lying about it because people called him monkey in school. So he just wanted to.
No, but later on they actually found proof that monkeys, chimpanzees, and there's one other animal, I forgot the name, that actually we evolved from them, because I already told you that at the CEA there's this like giant thing of a remain of a human.
Anything.
And yeah.
Anything if you have the right materials. If I have clay and a bunch of plastic things, I can just create that skull and show it to you, and I can prove anything else also. I can even create a spider and make a speculative theory and tell you we evolved from spiders. But
No.
not everything that's said in the material world is true. This is the
Well,
word of dishonesty.
Wait,
There's
but
proof. Even when I
but
researched
isn't there proof of that? Because there's this Jane Goodall is a scientist from Britain, and she studied like stuff from like with.
Okay, Manhar will share the resources with you and show you why Charles Darwin's theory is wrong.
What?
Yeah, even when I went to
How is it wrong? A chimp skull and a human skull are very similar.
but they're not the same. They're very.
That's
similar,
because
they're not the
that-
same.
Yeah, that's because we evolved from them.
That's because we evolved from being chimps and apes to humans.
And then maybe half robot with a laser eye. Or half helicopter or something.
If we evolved from them, then today humans would be climbing buildings or something like that, and we would be like better and like stronger than monkeys.
Because while we evolved from them, and over years they, like, for example, if you see chimpanzees now, they're very furry, and and you lose stuff as you evolve from them. Like, if the moon broke in half or we didn't have a moon, we would evolve with giant eyes or something.
I even went to this
Like
museum where
owls.
there's a dinosaur skull, and it seemed really real, but they told us they made a fake too.
Wow.
So we just took now.
Well, I saw an actual dinosaur thing at my field trip to the CA, but I didn't want to catch it.
It's not yours, the entire school went.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, we went the whole. Wait, no, not the whole school, Vian. Even only the second graders got to go there. The first graders went somewhere else.
No, but still, that's a lot of people. The whole
You
there's
guys want to
6
learn how to cook
classes.
today? You guys want to learn how to cook today?
Yes.
Good. Then we're going to be quiet now. So they're not able to come to a conclusion, but yeah, I would say that there are a lot of faults to the theory, but each has their own belief. I don't have to like really sit and convince you. You don't have to convince me. We'll move on. Okay. So everyone gather your ingredients, and we're gonna make chira dahi. And does anyone want to tell the story of chira dahi?
Of what?
It's a festival. Pani Hati Chira Dahi. Sandy, you want to tell the story?
Yes, Mataji. I think I'm pretty sure I know it, but I think like I might miss something or like something else.
Okay. So you can tell the story, and if there's anything to add, I'll do that.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay.
So
Anna, you want to tell the story?
Yeah, I know the story.
Okay. Okay, so Manhar will add facts. If you miss anything, Sanvi, then Manhar will add those facts. Okay.
okay, Mataji. So I think there was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his name was, I think it was Raghunath Dasa. So Raghunath Dasa, he went to Lord Nityananda, and he was hiding in the shadows because he wanted to see Lord Nityananda, but he didn't want to like disturb Lord Nityananda in anything he was doing. So Lord Nityananda saw him, and he told one of his devotees to like go call Raghunath Dasa, and Lord Raghunath, like Lord Nityananda, he went and called Raghunath Dasa, and he said to Raghunath Dasa that because he was hiding like a thief, he should get a punishment. And like Raghunath Dasa told him what he was doing, and Lord Nityananda said that his punishment would be to serve all the devotees in the temple and whoever comes. And Raghunath Dasa realized that this was not actually a punishment, and he was very happy. And Lord Nityananda asked his followers to help Raghunath Das. So Raghunath Das, he made Chitta Dahi, and he served so much to all the other devotees, and he made so much for everyone, and they officially made it into a festival. Like everyone was ecstatic, and they were all chanting the holy names and having Chitta Dahi prasadam.
Mataji, I haven't heard this story. I was thinking of another story. I thought it was the Parthsarthi story. It was the story where Lord Jagannath turned into Gajavesha Jagannath.
No, that's a different story. That's Gajavesha story. The story that Chanvi told is absolutely true.
Mataji, did we already start cooking?
No, I've just gathered my ingredients.
Oh.
So while cooking, I'll tell you some of the facts that Sanya might have missed. So gather all your ingredients. This is some curd that I have. Okay, it's beaten curd. This is some milk. Okay.
Mataji, we don't have the ingredients.
Then you can just watch.
Mataji,
Yeah.
can you do it without curd?
Can I do it with?
Without curd?
Yeah, you can. Then you can make just like one variety. That's okay. Then we're gonna make two types.
Mataji, could you put the ingredients in the chat box?
I can.
I can't like. Can you wait a bit to get for us to get the ingredients? Because I'm currently on my iMac and I can't move my iMac to the kitchen. It's like this big.
Okay, you can get your ingredients. I'll wait for 2 minutes.
Okay, what the ingredients? What are the? Can you put it in the chat box?
Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat box.
Mataji, I thought the Mataji that was telling the activity. I thought she said that today we were doing like I thought she said that we were doing a hanging this week.
Mika, are you there?
I thought she said that we were doing.
Yes, Mataji. So kids, yes, I did say that, but this week my hand's not doing that good, so we're not going to be making that. So tomorrow is the last one.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
So can you cook the
And Mataji, I am posting the ingredients in the group. I mean, in the chat.
You've added the ingredients to chat. I have to do it. Right? Just give me a moment, please.
I posted it, Mataji. It's in the chat.
Okay, cool.
rice like 350 grams.
Sorry?
But Mataji, are we making like that welcome card for our teachers?
No, we will not be making. I mean, since it went like that was the plan for last week, but it kind of went out of plan.
Rice plate.
Okay, so
I have a
it was kind of out of.
Can I make it without cardamom powder?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Because
So
I don't see my cardamom.
That was the plan for last time. last week, till last week, and then now it changed, so that's why we are not doing those things. But tomorrow we'll be having something very nice, probably like a working bow and arrow.
So what, like working bird? What's a working bird?
I mean, like one that you can actually shoot somewhere.
Oh,
But we're not sure because the plans change.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow I have to go
Did everyone get their
to Texas.
Mana, you want to say something? Your hand is up. Okay, did everyone get the ingredients? Can those who've gotten the ingredients raise their hands? Okay, I see Nikshita got
Mataji,
it.
I don't have rice flakes.
You don't have rice? You don't have flake rice?
Yeah, I don't have rice flakes. Yeah.
Okay, you don't have the cheetah. Then you can just watch whenever you have it next you can make. So I also see that Mahita has her ingredients. And I see Nikshit also has them. Okay, so I think we'll start now. So we'll start with two bowls. In one of the bowls I've got milk, and in the other I have beaten curd. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the jeera. So this is called jeera. It's basically flaked rice, and it's also called poha. So we've soaked it for a while, and we're just gonna add it to the milk, and we're gonna save some of it to add to the curd. So I have it in two separate places. So I'm just gonna add this. So these are two varieties of jeera dahi. One is made with milk and the other is made with curd. Sandy, you want to say something?
Mataji, I have a question. Could I use like jowar flakes or like a different type of flakes instead of rice flakes?
This is the traditional recipe, but I guess you can. I'm not sure how it would taste.
Mataji, how should it look like?
How should what look like?
How should the mixture look like?
The mixture of jeera dahi.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be. It should not have too much milk. It should kind of be maybe 3/4.
But you should be able to see the milk on the top of the flakes, right?
Can you just like my dad's still getting the boiled milk because I didn't get it ready in the beginning.
Sorry, what are you saying?
At the start of class, I wasn't there, so I didn't know it was a cooking class, so I didn't get boiled milk ready. My dad's still boiling the milk.
You can just use normal milk. That's okay.
Okay, I'm just waiting for my dad to boil it.
Okay. Actually, in India, we usually boil the milk before consuming it because it's not processed in the factories. Like it is, in other places. That's why we boil the milk so that it doesn't get bad. But I think everywhere else it's processed. So yeah, I guess it's okay to even use just normal milk. So have you guys added the flaked rice to milk and curd separately?
Yes, Mataji.
Perfect. So this is the pink one is my mixture with curd, and the other one, the steel bowl is a mixture with milk.
Should we add the rice flakes in the curd?
Yeah, you have to add it to both, also in the curd and also in the milk.
Okay.
Okay, two different bowls.
Oh my gosh. Fingers.
So meanwhile, I'll tell you the story while we're adding everything. So what happened was, like Sanvi told us, that Raghunath Das was a very nice devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and he wanted to.
I have a. What do we do after getting the milk? I just got the milk.
Yeah, please. I'm waiting for those time.
What do we do after getting the milk? I just got the milk.
Yeah. You can take it.
What do we do?
Wait for you.
Mataji, he's
What do we do?
asking, what do we do once we get the boiled milk?
Oh, once you get the boiled milk, you have to add the rice flakes to it.
Okay.
The soaked rice flakes.
Should we mix the rice flakes in the curd or no?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm telling you. This is my bowl which has beaten curd. I've added the rice flakes to it, and this is my bowl of milk. I've also added the rice flakes to it.
Mataji, could you like put your computer down a little so we can see what
it looks like. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure you can still see it, but yeah, this is
Wait, what's in the steel bowl and what's in the pink bowl?
in the steel bowl. There is milk and chira, which is rice.
Okay.
Rice. And in the pink bowl, there is curd and flaked rice.
Wait, so you put flaked rice in both of them?
Yes.
Okay. So in one there's curd and in one there's milk. That's basically the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything else is almost the same. So while you guys are preparing, so once you guys are done till here, just raise your hand so I'll know that I can go forward.
Mataji, I gone to bring my items. Can you tell them first?
Can I tell you again? Okay, see, you have flaked rice. These are flaked rice. Okay, this is called chira. You have already soaked this. So you just add it to the milk, to one bowl of milk. And in the other bowl, you take some curd, which is beaten. And you add chira to that also. You add this flaked rice to this also. And you add in just enough. You know, you should be able to see the curd as well. And in the case of milk, you should also be able to see the milk. You don't have to add too much. Satya, you want to say something?
You said like raise your hand, so I'm just raising my hand to show that I'm done.
Show that you're done. Okay. Aniruddha, are you done? Hey Krishna, Aniruddha, are you not cooking this week?
What should we put for milk?
What should you put for milk? You just add the chira, the poha or the flaked rice to your milk. That's it. That's all we've done till now. Priyansh and
Thank
Ritika,
you, Mataji.
This is my curd milk.
perfect, Aniruddha. Thank you. I was worried you're not cooking today. You're one of our best chefs.
Well, we don't have much. We don't have a lot of ingredients. Our nuts are too hard. Almonds
That's
and
okay. You just add whatever you have. Your main ingredients are basically milk, curd, and rice flakes.
but instead of mango and bananas, could we put apples and blueberries too?
Yeah, you can do that. I actually did not get my mango, so I'll add my mango later. But if whatever fruits you have, you can use that. Lord Nityananda loves fruits. So, so Raghunath Das is a very rich devotee. He has huge estates. Okay, and he wants to be in Lord Chaitanya's party. But he has so many responsibilities and a beautiful wife and everything. And he cannot like just leave everything and go. So he tries to run away from home, but he's not able to. And one fine day, he's able to run away, and then he's able to. No, wait. Before that, he meets Nityananda Prabhu, I guess. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells him that you will meet Nityananda, and Nityananda is very dear to my heart, so Nityananda will bring you to me. So he's very scared. He's dressed very lavishly in all his rich clothes and everything. And he is very scared of going in front of Nityananda Prabhu. So like Sanvi said, he's hiding behind a bush. And Nityananda Prabhu sees him because Nityananda Prabhu is who? He is Balaram himself. And so he knows everything. And just to, tease him, he chastises him. He says, oh, you thief, you're just standing there and you're not showing yourself. Don't do that. And then he says that you have a punishment, and because you're so rich, you're going to serve us this. And this was the dish that Lord Nityananda had told Raghunath Das to prepare for all of the devotees. So this is what we're making for the pleasure of our Gaudandai. So now what we're going to do next is take some cardamom powder if you have it. If you have cardamom powder, add a little bit of it to the milk. We probably will not add a lot of cardamom powder to the curd, but we can add just a little bit.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, how should the curd for me? It looks like I don't know like how to say it. It looks very lumpy, and then for the milk, it looks like plain milk and cereal.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. The milk is supposed to look like plain milk and cereal. If the curd looks lumpy, you're supposed to beat it. That's what I told you. It's supposed to be curd. To beat it, you just mix it with a spoon. Couple of times.
No, like the curd looks lumpy because of the
Of the cheetah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's supposed to look like that. I don't know.
Mataji, when are we going on to the next step?
I told you just add the cardamom. Did you add the cardamom? If you've got cardamom
So, like,
powder,
how much do we have to add?
just a pinch.
So, like a teaspoon?
No. So this
Half
is
of a teaspoon?
1/4 of a teaspoon.
Oh,
Yeah, 1/4 of a teaspoon or less.
okay.
That's it.
Mataji, in the end, are we gonna mix both of them together, or is it gonna be like two separate?
It's going to be two separate things. This is with milk, this is with curd. It's different.
Okay.
Now we'll add honey.
Mataji, what if you already had the honey already in that before you started?
No problem. You don't have to add honey now then.
Mm-hmm.
Which container do you add the honey in?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, add 2 or 3 teaspoons of honey.
Mataji, did you already add the yogurt too?
We added the cheetah to the yogurt. The yogurt is not supposed to go in the milk. We added to the yogurt, we added some cheetah, which is the rice flakes. And then we added some cardamom, and now we just added honey.
Mataji, do you have to add like that the light gray thing the cinnamon thing? Do you have to mix it?
Which light gray thing?
Like the thing that was like cinnamon?
Mataji, cardamom powder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Powder. You can
Do
add
we
it.
have to like mix it?
Yeah, you have to add it and you have to mix it. Also mix the honey.
Mataji, can we put vanilla instead of cardamom?
You can. Okay, so now we've also mixed our honey. And now we're gonna add some sugar.
Oh, Mataji,
Yes.
do we have to add sugar and the cardamom powder?
Yes. Both.
Oh,
Which container do we add sugar in? What? I can't hear you.
Add sugar to both.
Okay.
And also to the curd.
Kids, please keep your mics muted. If you have a question, ask one by one.
Mataji, how much do we have to add?
You can add 1 or 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
Okay. Depending on how sweet you want it to be. If you want it to be very sweet, then you can add 2 teaspoons. Okay, or 2.5. And if you want it to be not very sweet, if you're not like a very big sweets fan, then you can add little bit less.
Okay.
Thank you. Did anyone else have to say something?
Mataji, I have one question about it.
Yeah, go on.
So, if we put honey, do we have to put sugar?
Yeah, because honey won't make it sweet enough. You have to add a little bit of sugar.
And in the ingredients, you said 3 tablespoons. So you mean tablespoons or teaspoons?
Tablespoons or teaspoons? Sorry, you have to add teaspoons. 3 teaspoons would be enough, I think.
Okay, Mataji.
Mataji, what do we add next?
You can add, now you can add all the fruits that you've got.
Okay.
I've got apples, so I'm gonna add apple.
What are you adding now?
I'm adding the apple that I've got. I've got chopped apple.
In which container? In the curd?
In both of them. You will add everything to both of them. Only if you've got grapes, you will not add it to the milk because milk and grapes don't go well together.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
I added grapes to mine already.
You added grapes to milk?
Yeah, but it's okay. I still like it that way.
Mataji, I already put I already put the blueberry yogurt inside the dahi. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Mataji, do we
Yes.
have the nuts next?
Yes, you add the nuts next.
So you stir it, you add nuts and you stir it.
Yeah.
Mataji, what do you have to do next once you add the nuts and the fruit?
Then you just add tulsi to it and you offer it to the Lord. It's ready.
What if you don't have tulsi?
Or if you don't have tulsi, then
Do you mix both of them together? Like, do you put them together or is it served in different containers?
oh, it's served in different containers.
Oh.
If you don't have Tulsi, then you pray to Tulsi Maharani to please come and be on your food. You can say that, oh Tulsi Maharani, Krishna will not accept the offering without you because you are so dear to Krishna. So will you please come and sit on my food? And then Tulsi Maharani will come and she will bless your food and then Krishna will have it.
You can bless food.
See, the thing is that Krishna loves Tulsi so much that he doesn't accept anything without Tulsi.
What?
Yeah, that's true.
Not even rice with vegetables and curd.
No, whatever you offer to Krishna, you have to add Tulsi.
Not even butter? Not even pure mixed butter?
No, because Krishna is a loving person. He loves Tulsi so much. He doesn't. Krishna has so much that he doesn't need our food. You know why we offer to
It's
Krishna?
kind of like what I used to do. I used to
Mataji,
in India. I had a trip to India. We used to, and before we went to school, me and my friends and cousins, we would pick some tulsi and keep it in our pockets and go.
Is that so? So yeah.
I have a question. How many tablespoons of nuts should we add?
How many tablespoons of nuts? You can add little bit of chopped nuts. You don't have to add a lot.
Okay.
You can't
Mataji,
Yeah?
Mataji, I'm gonna give this chari dahi to Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Mataji,
Yes.
is there anyone else who loves tulsi equally as Krishna?
I don't think so.
Like Balaram, he's literally his brother, so I think he would. But
Some pure devotees, I think they do.
what do you mean pure devotee?
Like really devoted devotees of Lord Krishna.
And also, what's the difference from a god and a demigod?
What's the difference between a god
What?
and a
What's Tulsi? What's Tulsi?
Tulsi is a leaf that's offered to Krishna. And Krishna
Oh, I
loves
love
it.
those leaves.
Oh, I thought
Isn't
I
that
thought we were
like a
adding it to
version of mint? Isn't it like a version of mint?
It
Or
looks
is
like
it mint?
but it tastes different.
It's like mint.
I have Tulsi in my backyard.
Yeah. You can show
I
them
have
what
Tulsi in my house, but I
Okay.
can't use it that much
more.
because my Tulsi is kind of dying, so I got something different.
And also, I have a question about tulsi. So, like in every house in India that's like in a village, why does everybody have like these pots made out of cement and a tulsi plant growing out of it? Is it for Lord Krishna, to praise Lord Krishna, or to give it to Tulsi Devi? I don't know.
Mataji,
Krishna. Yeah.
this is my that chari this is my chari dahi.
Yeah. Aniruddha, you can offer to Krishna.
This is mine.
Can I offer it to Shiva?
This is mine, Mataji.
This is mine, and
Mine.
this is the third.
I'm so glad you guys have made like really nice chira dahi for Krishna. And I'm sure they will be really happy with you, Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. And Tulsi is actually like holy.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Is it the national plant of India?
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Satya, it's
I'm
not
going
the
to copy that.
plant of India.
What is a national? What? Oh, it's a lotus, right? Oh.
Okay. So if you guys are done, then you can offer to Krishna. If you don't have Tulsi, then request Tulsi Maharani to be on your food so that Krishna will accept it. And she's very kind, she's very merciful, so she will do that. Does anyone else want to say anything?
Mataji, tomorrow are you going to be here?
I'm not gonna be there tomorrow.
Oh, then who is going to be here?
Nika Mataji knows.
Oh, and can we continue the conversation we did like before we started the cooking tomorrow?
Mihika Mataji will tell you. It's actually right now it's not possible because it's 11:15 in the night over here. So I just have to
Oh, it's 11 at the night. I thought India and America have 30 minutes difference. If it's 10:18 here, it would be like
No, they don't have 30 minutes. They have way more than that.
They have 9 hours.
10
it's like
hours
thir-
and 30 minutes.
Oh,
10 hours
that's
and 30 minutes.
why. Oh, that's why
it's not.
I can only talk to my grandmother in that's in India in at dawn and at the night because it's
They
switched
have like 12-hour differences.
because it's
They're
like
not
when it's
30
night
minutes.
for us, it's morning for them. So it's like so we can meet at dawn or like night. I don't know.
Okay, then.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I got it mixed up because that 30 minutes is the difference from China and India.
Yeah. No, but that's about 4 hours. No, that's for
None of
I'm
them
not-
is 30 minutes, unless if it's in India, like sometimes like US.
yeah.
So like in New Delhi. So wait,
Food is done.
but I thought this thing that it's the same time everywhere in China.
I don't know.
Okay.
So it's the
food is
same
done.
time everywhere in China. That's what I saw.
Yeah, you can Google it.
Okay. Next
Really
is
sure.
our food is done.
Sorry?
Our food is done, right?
Yeah, you're done. You can offer to Krishna. Okay.
Okay.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. It was so nice to be with you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna Mataji,
Hare
thank you.
Krishna Mataji. Bye-bye.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
That's so
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Bye. Thank you.
Mataji, can I end the call?
Mataji. Bye.
Bye.
Did anyone want to say
Mataji,
something?
can I end the call?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna.